everyone, this is Jordan the Tattooed Stitcher. I'm back for another cross stitching update. It's been 2 weeks since my last video and I have a lot to get through, and the door's open because my 3-year-old is downstairs eating and I need to hear her. But I have so much fun things to show. I just wanted to get started before I run out of time today on this busy Tuesday. It is Tuesday, November 19th. We're about a little over a week out from Thanksgiving, but I have been really in full-on stitching Christmas and winter projects. I tried my best to stitch on my fall projects and I managed to get one of them out and stitch on it for like half of a day. But it's okay. I don't usually want to stitch Christmas for some reason, or winter. But I'm really feeling it right now, so I'm just gonna roll with it while I'm still feeling it. I hope everyone has had a great past 2 weeks of stitching, and without further ado, I will jump into what I've been working on. I do have quite a bit of FFOs and, well, okay, the nomenclature is not important. I have stuff to show, so let's just start. I did start and finish Joy and Good Cheer. Oh, I have the chart here somewhere. Joy and Good Cheer from With Thy Needle and Thread. And now I've officially finished all of these seasons. They are all stitched with the called for threads. Some of them have substitutions, but for the most part, the called fors. And they are stitched on, all of them are stitched on 32 count buttermilk from Live and Die LA. 1 strand over 2 threads. My 3-year-old already needs me. But I'm so happy to have this finished. I put it in the frame that I had spring in earlier this year, and I just swapped those two out with this one when it's their season, and I have it in my little center display on my kitchen island. I don't know why I struggled stitching this piece. I did a huge mistake down here and I had to unpick all these letters and a snowflake and like all this vine work. I had to unpick it because I could not fudge it to make it work. But it's really cute and I love it. I love the cardinal. I love the way that it turned out. It looked really good. And then, oh geez. Some other finishing I did, I have it all here in my dough bowl. This is how I have it displayed right now downstairs with all my Christmas stuff. I've got some of the snowballs from my mother-in-law, the Mary Crow's shop. I got some rusty bells. They're not really rusty, they're just in case you're worried about my pillows, they're not rusty. Pine cones, and I made these candy canes last year. There's some of them are in here and some are in other places. I made them out of air dry clay and painted them and then used like an antiquing oil that I just got from Walmart to make them look crusty and rusty. So I will show to you my pillows that I finished. So let me do this without tossing everything out. I can't remember if I had started this the last time I saw you. I think I had, but I fully finished. I think I did show you my finish of this, but I hadn't fully finished it. So I fully finished Winterberries and Pine. This is a With Thy Needle. I believe that you can get it now. I think it's been released to the public for everybody. But it turned out so cute. I originally wanted to put rickrack on the side, but I didn't have any. I did have this chenille though. So I did this Lady Dot Creates chenille. I think the color was vanilla. And I did out of Baker's Twine, a little bow on the top. It's backed in a fabric fat quarter I got at Stitch West from a quilting vendor there. I cannot remember the name of her shop. She was the sweetest lady though. And it's just stitched on 36 count light mocha from Zweigart. And I love the way that it turned out. It's so cute. I love it. So that makes me very happy to see every day. And then Oh, this is gonna be, okay. And then these are some Prairie Schooler Santas that I had stitched a really long time ago. I think I stitched these in 2019, which was the very first year I started stitching. So I don't know the names of them, what numbers they are, what books they're from, because those books are long gone. I think I gave them to my mother-in-law after I stitched these ones, because these were just my favorite ones from the books that I had. They're so cute. They're stitched on. So this was back in my time of obsession with Priscilla and Chelsea, the Real Housewives of Cross Stitch, and they stitched everything on 28 count Monaco that they coffee tea dyed themselves. So that's exactly what I did. So this is a 32 count Monaco that I coffee tea dyed myself. These are stitched in hand because have you ever put Monaco on a hoop? It's easier to work with in hand. So, and they're just used the called for colors. And I just had them sitting in a bin for like the last 4 years. And I was like, this is their year, the year they get finished. And they're backed in a green minky. And I did just like a kind of little bow out of, I think it's called, this is either called Grubby Toast or Vintage from Lady Dot Creates. And I just did them really simple because they're really cute all by themselves. And now I'm like, well, I kind of want more Prairie Schooler Santas. I really love the woodland one. I don't know the numbers or names of them, but the woodland one that has like the bunny in his pocket and there's like a fox at his feet. I think there's a polar bear next to him too. I really want to do that one. Will I do it on 28 Monaco? No, I will not. But there's those are my fully finishes. And I do have another one that's in the partial stages of finishing. It is, I started and finished Rudolph and Friends from With Thy Needle and Thread. I used all the called for threads, and I also stitched it on 32 count caramel from Seraphim Fabrics, 1 strand over 2 threads. So right now it is in partially done mode. It's made into its pillow form, but there's no stuffing or walnut shells in it because I am completely out of stuffing. So once my stuffing comes, or once I get some stuffing, it will get finished. And this is kind of part of my haul. I guess I'll show it right now, but I went to, in the picture, they have it finished with that really cute gingham red bow on the top, and I knew I wanted to do that. So I went to Walmart and picked up a couple different kinds of ribbons. And then I would like to put some red rickrack around this, but I don't have any. I don't have any white rickrack either. So I plan to order some things from Lady Dot to be able to finish this. So as soon as that stuff comes, this will be done and added to my bowl and be very cute. This only took me 1 day to stitch. It's really, really small. There's not very much stitching at all. 1 day, you can do it. Okay. Yes. So now I will go into some whips. Okay, so as usual, these are in no order. The only fall whip I managed to work on was Turkey Hollow Farm from Stacy Nash. I'm stitching this with most of the called for. I think I only have 2 sub colors. I'm stitching this on 40 count vintage lentil from Lakeside Linens. And this is where I am at. Oh geez. I got all the way to the top with this border and just barely started coming over. So I started doing more in this vine work, but it's very meticulous and there's a lot of counting, and I was just sick of all the browns and golds, because all fall things have lots of browns and golds. So I didn't get very far in it, but I still love this project, and it will come out again when I'm feeling fall. But right now I'm just not, and that's okay. It's a seasonal Stitcher's Plight. I wish I could stitch on all the seasons all year. I would have a lot more holiday themed things to display every year. Okay, and then the rest of my whips. Which ones of these are new starts? I'm trying to remember. Okay, so this one on top I think is a new start. I started Peppermint and Pine. Yes, from With Thy Needle. I started the owl, and I've got him kitted with all of the called for. Which one is his? I can't. In my haul, you'll see I have a little solution for my memory problems here. But this is where I've got to on him. I stitched a lot of this one while watching my husband and I watched the newest or latest season of Alone on Netflix. It's like a survival show, and I stitched him while we watched that season. And he's on 36 count vintage homespun from R&R. And he's just so adorable. Look at his little face. I really love the candy cane that he's just like gripping behind his wing flap. And the pine cones were so much fun to stitch. And I like the effect that they give. And this piece of fabric is big enough I should be able to do all 3 of them on it. He's so cute. Okay, oh, another new start. I have such a mess over here. Okay, another good start. Good start. I'm reading and trying to think at the same time. Another new start. I don't have a huge amount of progress on this because I just started it 2 days ago. But that is Peace and Goodwill from With Thy Needle. It's a With Thy Needle day, apparently. She just has all the best Christmas and wintry projects. So I started in the bottom left corner as usual, and I'm using all the called for colors, except I did sub, actually I don't know if I'm using the called for red. I cannot remember. I'm using Cherry Cobbler for my red, and my pattern just flew to the next room. But I know that I'm not using the called for the blue in the pattern. I'm using Nutcracker Prints. I can't remember what the called for is. I just knew I didn't have it. I'm stitching this on 36 count Hazelwood from Fiber on a Whim. This is part of my haul. This came in the mail, and I bought it specifically for this project because of Jessica, the Sweetwater stitcher. We were going to start this on the same day, and she started it on this, and I was like, I can't even use what I was going to use because this is too perfect. I really love the crusty, old, vintagey look that it's giving this project. So yeah, I made it to the top and bottom, so it's not very big. I think it's only like this far across too, so it's kind of like the size of those blackbirds, that blackbird I had just done, the Quaker Garden. It's about that same size. So that's my progress. The red is looking so great. It's Cherry Cobbler from Classic Colorworks. It's one of my favorite reds. Okay, so there's that one. And I have so many new starts, you guys. It's fine. It's fine. We're fine. Okay, let me do a whip so I can feel better about myself. Okay, I did work on a whip. I worked on my Plum Street Samplers This Joyous Season. You guys, I can't ever get the name of this project right. I keep wanting to call it Repeat the Sounding Joy. This Joyous Season. I did work on this one. I'm stitching this on 36 count Vintage Meadow Rue from Lakeside Linens. And I had to move my hoop so you don't get to see the white that I did over here. So I mainly worked on the house. I now have the house fully mortared and all the windows are outlined. And then I had done this pomegranate. And then when I went to go do more roof shingles over here, I realized I was off right here. So if you're stitching this pattern, this row right here, it's tricksy, okay? It tricks you. So this one is 3 and then it goes to 4. So I was just going 3 all the way across. So I was a whole stitch off and it like just messed up everything. So this pomegranate is off. Don't care. I think it's attached by a vine. I can just eliminate 1 stitch in the vine. It's gonna be all right. But the red on this house, what is it called? I think it's called Cayenne. Yes, Cayenne from Weeks Dye Works. It is the most beautiful red. It is so rich and jewel toned. I don't know. It's beautiful. So that's really all I can say about this, about this pattern. Just a lot of masonry, but it's really pretty. Okay, I need my iPad for this one. Another new start that I did. I actually started it yesterday. If you are part of Teresa Kogut's like email newsletter, she sent yesterday a freebie Santa, and the minute she teased this Santa, I was like, yeah, I'm stitching him. My Christmas decorations are very like Nordic and like woodland. So when she showed the Santa, I was like, that's perfect. I need to do it. And it is called the Woodland Santa. And he's got a brown coat and the little mushrooms and the snail. I kind of wish one of those cardinals was a female cardinal. So I might kind of change one to a brown. We'll see. But it's only stitched in DMC. And I have so much overdyed floss. I decided to convert it to floss from my stash. I left all of the skin color DMCs because they were great. I didn't need to sub those. So these are the colors that I picked to replace the DMC in this chart. That's so pretty. And I'm stitching it on 36 count. Oh, what is this? It's a picture of this plus. Legacy. Picture this plus legacy in a 36 count. And I started it yesterday. This is my very small start. It's gonna be so pretty. So I just started in the bottom corner, did the leaf and this backstitched thing and a mushroom, and this is the start of one of his boots. I love it. I think it's gonna look really nice on this fabric, and he's kind of small. He's not really big, so on 36 count, I think it was like 7 inches tall, so it fits on a 16th, right? Is that the math? A quarter in half is an eighth. An eighth in half is a 16th. So if it's on 16th with plenty of space. So I'm really excited about that one. And then over the last 2 weeks, it was Veterans Day. I love Veterans Day. And one of my very sweet Instagram friends, Vanessa, with her whatever handle is Flame Fingers. I know I've mentioned her on here before. If you haven't gone to follow her, you must. She stitches so fast. Flame Fingers is real. She had just finished a Stacy Nash exclusive for Dying to Stitch, the Dying to Stitch retreat. Yes. She had bought the kit from somebody and she'd finished the pattern and offered to send it to me, and I was like, yes please. And that is Stacy Nash Liberty for All. It's so pretty. You got to go see her finish of it. It's fantastic. So I decided to start this on Veterans Day while watching some of my favorite war movies. What am I stitching it on? 36 count Affogato from Fiber on a Whim. And this is where I got to. I've worked on this 2 days, I think. Well, not 2 full days, but 2 times. It only calls for 4 colors. 5 colors? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors. I didn't have, let's see. I did not have the navy or the light khaki or the flatfish. They were all in other projects. So I did sub a couple of the colors. But it is so gorgeous. The berries, this is so much fun to stitch. This berry and leaf border. It is really, really fun to stitch. And there's not a ton of grass at the bottom, so that's nice. But it's not a very big pattern. It only takes a small portion of a fat quarter. And this affogato was part of my haul too. It came in the mail and I was like, I didn't have any Patriots brew. So I thought, because that's what it calls for, is Patriots brew. I thought this would work just dandy. And I love it. Stacey Nash and her dang borders. Am I right? Oh man, did we reach the end of the whips? I feel like I didn't touch on very many whips or stitch on very many different things the last few weeks than I normally do, but there's kind of a lot here. I don't know. Feels weird. I feel like I should be continuing to show. So now that is all of my whips and my new starts. So I will start with some haul. I've got a lot of it. I've got a lot of it. Okay, so I already showed my finishing ribbons that I got. I put those away. Another part of my haul is kind of weird is I got these jewelry tags because I'm finding that I'm losing track of what projects all of these rings of floss go on, like which projects they go for. So I put one on my new start yesterday. Put them on my rings. They'll have which project is on them. And I think this roll of 500 of them was like $5. So that should help me keep track of all these rings of floss. Okay, and then I did get the Hobby House exclusive Christmas or winter tartan plaid themed box. The box is way up there, but so I'll show some of the things that came in that box. I don't think I have all the things over here, but it came with this ornament that I need to put on my tree. It's really pretty. Oh geez. It came with, where am I gonna put things? So this was the exclusive chart. I knew that it was coming with a, what is this called? Hands Across the Sea. We just didn't know, what it looked like. I had a feeling it would be a red sampler. This is Nettle. I don't know how you say her first name. Something Cornelia, 1903. And they gave, so I ordered this box back in like June, and I was in my 46 count era of stitching. So I chose 46 count linen. This is a Mason linen in antique button light. You guys, I don't even remember choosing this. And to be completely honest, I did not buy this box for the chart. I chose it for the Winterberry case. Winterberry? But anyways, so it's 46 count linen. So my box came with the 100.3 silks of Arissois, because they're thinner. So if you ordered probably 36 count or lower, you've got the Soie d'Alger, which I didn't know that. I wish I would have known that. It's okay. I've never used a Arissois either. I don't know where to put all this stuff. I'm just going to throw it on the ground. It also came with, okay, the biggest part, the reason I bought it, I've got it full of stuff, was for the Winterberry case. Winterberry. I think I keep calling Winterberry. Winterberry case. I love tartan plaid. I was very excited to see this. So this is my case. I've got it kind of full of stuff right now. I wish I was as creative and talented as Jessica, the Sweetwater Stitcher, when it comes to packing a case. But I really have no No clue what I'm doing when I pack these cases. So I have my Sanju tin that I thought would be fun to keep orts in when I'm about. And I've got like little extras notions in here. I got a pen. I've got my tiny navy blue Kohanas. I've got the Country Sampler needle book that Memphis Sarah E gave me. I got an extra of my favorite needle ever, 28 ball tip Easy Glides. I've got seam ripper and my little tool for tightening my hoops. And then, get that back in there. Oh, jeez. Okay. And then I've got an array of scissors on the top. So I've got my red Kohanas because, I mean, appropriate. And I've got my traveling Premax red scissors with the scissor fob that Jessica made me at Stitch West. And then these are the scissors that came in the case. They're like a tartan plaid, and these are also Premax, which was really nice. I love Premax scissors. But also in the box came this cute little charm. So I attached it to what's that called? Safety pin, and I added a green ribbon and grubby frog from Lady Dot Creates just to make it cute. 4 scissors in a travel case should be enough, right? 4 pairs of scissors? You think I should add more? And then Rocio gave me this at Acorns and Threads. It's the corner ruler. It's really cute. So that's what I have in my little case so far. Oh, jeez. All right. I know I'm missing things from it. There was like a tartan plaid thread ring bling thing. I think it's somewhere. Okay, so we're all. I was perusing Stash and Load, and a lady was selling Florence Mary Dickinson, which is a hat that's been on my to buy list for quite a while. She's selling it for $15. So I gotta steal a deal on this one. I hate the book. I hate it. I hate it. Look how minimal stitching's on each page. There's like 85 pages because there's like 20 stitches on each page. Quite annoying to deal with, but I'm glad to have it nonetheless. And then I bought from Artful Offerings the Horse Country Holiday. I love this chart. I love this chart since I saw Michelle Farm Girl back when she had a regular YouTube channel showing her stitching this. I bought this chart when she was stitching it, probably 4 years ago. And then I ended up giving it to my sister-in-law who stitches occasionally and is horse obsessed. I thought it was a great Christmas present. So I had to get another copy for myself because I forgot all about it. And then I got With Thy Needle and Thread paper snowflakes. Oh gosh, that glare. Paper snowflakes. I hate pulling these out of the plastic. I believe Christy, Crosshatch Quilts, just finished this or recently finished this, and that's why I wanted it. Because I want everything that Christy stitches. And I might start this pretty soon. It's not that big. Like, it's not that many stitches, and it's really, really cute. Oh gosh. Okay, and another With Thy Needle I got is Christmas Cottage. I was just watching Tara Sully Stitches, her most recent video, and she was showing her progress on this one, and I think she's stitching it on a lakeside cedar plank or something, and it's so pretty. It's so pretty. I have all the threads for this one too. I kind of want to start it. Maybe I'll start it closer to actual Christmas. Oh, this was all, this fell. This is also in my Hobby House box. A Sanju Mother of Pearl bobbin, thread bobbin. It's really pretty. Oh, there, now you can see it the right way. The emblems. That slid right in between all these things. Another chart I got is a Plum Street Samplers White Pumpkin Farm. I love this chart. It won't be started until next year, but it is so pretty and I had to have it in my collection. I might have to take a pause here. There's a child calling me. Okay, and then I got the Prairie Schooler Christmas Tree Farm. I cannot remember who it was on Instagram last year. They stitched this in like a bunch of different colors, and I really, really liked the way that that looked. So I might try to emulate something similar, but I really love this chart. And then I got another Prairie Schooler button up. This was stitched at Stitchery Express on 20 count. So what's that, 40 count linen on 20 count Aida, and it was so tiny and so cute. And I've had this one on my wish list for a long time, so I thought I'd just grab it. I think that's all the charts. The rest is fabric. Okay, fabric. So I got quite a bit from Michelle, Farm Girl Dry Goods. And the one thing that bugs me about ordering fabric from Michelle is they're packaged this way, which I'm sure makes so much sense for her and is really easy for her, but I do not store my fabric in plastic, and I hate that there's no label on the actual fabric. So I might create my own label and use a safety pin and pin it to it. So that's my one bugaboo from ordering from her, fabric-wise. I really wanted to try some of her in-house dyed fabric. Sorry if you're listening to all this crinkling. So I did get, it has a smell, not a bad smell. It smells like laundry detergent and grass, like hay. I don't know, I really like it. So this is her in-house dyed fabric called Old Amana. These are all 36 count. I have really wanted to get a piece of this. Oh my gosh, look how pretty it is. I love it. And it's so hard to use pretty fabrics. Why is it so hard? We buy it to use it, and then when it comes time to use it, it's painful. It hurts me. It hurts me in my heart. I don't want to use the pretty fabrics. I just want to admire them and pet them and love them. I did get another one of hers, but it's down here in this separate section we will get to. And then there were a couple Seraphim fabrics that I wanted to have. This one is called Prairie Grass. Another gorgeous, this one's like a taupey, kind of dark cobblestone brown color. Ooh, that is so pretty. Uh-oh. This one doesn't smell. So it's just her her dyed fabrics that she dyes that has that interesting smell. I really like the smell of them. And then I also got Seraphim fabrics in the color Bee's Knees. It's a really pretty goldeny brown color, very similar to, I'd say, Hog Bristle from Fox and Rabbit. I would say it's pretty similar to that. Really, really pretty. Needleworker Kim was talking about this fabric. I think it's one of her favorite fabrics. Wow, my mouth just really mumbled there. One of her favorite fabrics that she stitches quite a few things on. And then I also got Seraphim Old Stationery. And this is a very gray toned brown, I would say very similar to Saltbush from Fox and Rabbit, but not as dark. I think Saltbush is slightly darker. Ooh, I love it. Again, I want to use them, and I also don't want to use them. that's all my Farm Girl. Nope, I have one more down below. Okay, so then I wanted to get a couple of Fiber on a Whim that I didn't have. This is 36 count caramel macchiato. Ooh, that is really pretty. What the heck do I put on that? Anything? Anything you say? Oh, that's really pretty. It's very goldy. And two of the other pieces are used on whips. And then I got a fat quarter of Fiber on a Whim latte. Just a really pretty light, a light buttermilky kind of neutral. Is that all? Is that all my haul? I think that's all of my haul. Some of it is down here with the little extras. Okay. We're kind of going through this video, huh? That's good. Okay. So that is all my haul and that is all my stitching. But I thought I'd show a couple projects that are tickling my brain that will probably be started here pretty soon. Let me grab the pile from down below. Okay, projects that are in my mind. Oh, part of haul, I guess, is I did pre-order from Needle and Flax the new Paulette Plum Street Samplers release Salem sampler. Needle and Flax offered to a pre-order of the chart as well as the called for fabric, which is called Gallows Hill from them. So I just pre-ordered for them to get both. And then, but I know that Lindy Stitches is also offering the fabric pre-order as well. I did pre-order that, and I did pre-order, or I ordered back when orders were open, Rika, the House of Stitch and Stashes Christmas exclusive kit. I cannot remember what the chart is called now. She just released the full pictures of it though. I think she posted them on Facebook in the House of Stitch and Stash group, and it is gorgeous. I can't wait to start it when it comes. I think she said shipping that will start pretty soon in the next couple weeks for that. So one project on my mind is this small from Teresa Vignette, the Shakespeare's Peddler. Merry Little Christmas. As my stuff's crashing. Merry Little Christmas, this cute pillow. I have been wanting to stitch that for a few years. So I think a few years, maybe this came out. This was the 2023 winter issue. So since last year, I bought it last year. So that is a possibility of a start. Wood fell down here. Okay, another possibility of a start that's on my, I'm gonna drop all this stuff. Stay. That's on my mind is a Yuletide welcome from With Thy Needle and Thread. I love this chart. I bought it at Stitch West. Shepherd's Bush converted the 3 NPIs. So I'll probably use their conversion for the 3 NPIs or just pull something from Stash because I think the NPIs are this brown color and both the colors in the border. But I have the called for fabric for this, which is 36 count vintage buttercream from Lakeside Linens. So I've got the called for fabric. I mean, why not? Another possibility for a restart is Don't Punch Me, Christmas at Holly Berry Farm. If you've been around, you know the tale of woe with this project. I did end up abandoning how much I had stitched on the other piece. I can't stitch on something if it's not like singing, and so I'm restarting it. And these are my 2 options for fabric for restarting it. Let me pull it out of the plastic. So my 2 possibilities, so I would love your opinions down below. For restarting, I need to get some of this off my lap, is 36 count morning coffee from XJU Designs, and also La Mancha from Farmhouse Linens. They're pretty similar. I'd say La Mancha has a slightly red undertone versus this one is a cool undertone. So you can kind of see the colors there. So tell me what you think. The one with the reddish undertone or the cooler undertone? Because I'm totally great with either one. And you know the white's gonna show up. I'm not gonna have that problem with this one. So the Ex-Jude Morning Coffee or La Mancha from Farmhouse Linens. Please, please tell me what you think, because it will be restarted on one of those. And I love both, so I'm good either way. Okay, another project I know I will be starting in the coming days probably is with Dye Needle and Thread, Santa Stops Here. I love this chart. I have loved it since I bought it. I bought it when it was released in 2021. That's how long I've had this chart. Sacrilege. It needs started. So I've got all the threads. They're so pretty. And the fabric that I will be stitching it on is 36 count Maple Bar from Cedar River Linens. I think it's called for Winter Brew, of course. Freaking everything is stitched on Winter Brew. And I don't have it. But I think it will look really nice on the the Cedar River Maple Bar. So I'm really excited to start this one. I love a big house. Okay, and the last potential for a new start, and also this is part of my haul, is I bought the Kind and Gentle Woodland Holiday Sampler. Well, I had this chart because I got it from Shepherd's Bush a billion years ago, because they have it's stitched on the wall. What is that called? What's the word? I can't think. Anyways, it's stitched on the wall at Shepherd's Bush. And their conversion is what made me want to stitch this, because I'm not a huge fan of this pastel-y vibe we've got. So I kitted it up with the Shepherd's Bush colors. And that is the colors. So the deer's jumper is not blues. It is these greens. And it's really pretty. It just gave it a really more kind of woodlandy, vintagey vibe, and I love it. And the fabric options, so Shepherd's Bushes is stitched on 32 count, just as Weigard, I can't remember what it's called. So I have a couple of options. Option number one is this 32 count that I used for this one, which is caramel. I forgot to pull it. Option number two is this color and cotton called Havana. It's a darker, oh geez, it's a darker color. Darker brown, kind of leaning that way. And then the other option is this color and cotton sandstone, which is like a lighter color. It's so funny because when it's down in my lap, it looks like it's got a pinky undertone, but when I hold it up, I don't see pink. So what do you think? I'm good either way, really. So let me know what you think below. The darker color and cotton or the lighter? Guys, there's such a mess. There's such a mess in here. Okay, we've reached the end, the official end of all of the stitching and the haul and the plans, and I need your thoughts on those. So I will show quickly bags. I will be posting bags on Thursday. What is that? The 21st? Thursday the 21st. I post around 10 a.m. And these are the bags that I will have. I haven't charmed them yet. I just realized they will get charms. The charms are so cute too. So bag option number one will be this really cute little red truck hauling a Christmas tree with little cardinals. Very cute. The inside is this Bells and Holly Berry Green. Love it. So that's the first option. The second option is this gingerbread village. I love it. And the charms I have, I wish I could show you. I wish I had it on here. They're little gingerbread men and they're so cute. And the inside is this green snowflake and polka dots. So that's the other option. And the last option is, what do you call this? Vintage village. Got people walking about doing things. It's glittery too. The fabric is glittery. I don't know if you can see it glittering, shimmering, but it is glittery. And the inside is this really pretty plaid. So there's the other option. So those are my 3 options. I'll be posting on Thursday. And then I've got a whole stack over here ready to go for posting next week, hopefully. So watch for that on Thursday if you would love a bag. And thank you to everybody who bought bags in my last drop. I found that I was getting so many messages about them and I was thinking I was replying to people, but I wasn't. And then they were like, hello, did you send this? I'm like, yes, I'm so sorry, I did. Okay, shows. I got shows to talk about. I don't have too many shows to discuss that I watched, but I do have a bunch of shows that I want to watch that I'd love to know if any of you have watched them. Okay, we watched the new Twisters movie with that hunky guy. I don't even know his name. The original is better by 1,000,000%, but this one was silly and cheesy. It was fine. Will I watch it again? No. But the guy is not too hard on the eyes to look at. Okay, and now I cannot remember if I talked about this movie in my last video because I know that I told a few people about it, and so I keep forgetting if I've said it here or not. But in case I haven't, it's a fantastic show and you should go watch it. It's a movie, a really short movie called The Windermere Children. It's on PBS. It's a PBS movie, and it's about a group of 300 children that were saved from one of the concentration camps in Poland after World War II. And it was about the British government bringing these children onto this estate, the Windermere estate, that was turned into kind of a rehab facility for these kids. Because some of them were born in the concentration camps, so that's all they knew, to kind of rehab them to be able to go back to normal life. And it followed mainly this group of boys. And then it was so good. It was really, really good. And at the end they showed the real people, and it made it all really special. It was a really, really good movie. I recommend highly. I've been watching Bones. Bones is an easy show I put on my laptop up here when I'm working. It's the show I don't have to watch every second of, but I love listening to nonetheless. And I'm almost done with it. And I'm like, what am I going to watch next? It'll probably be Grey's Anatomy. It's been a long time since I've rewatched Grey's Anatomy. So we'll see. I also started this new HBO docuseries called Breath of Fire, about how kind of this one type of yoga was brought to the United States back in the late 60s, early 70s, by a guy, it turns out, who wasn't even a yoga master in India. He was kind of a con artist that came to the United States and found success here, and it's kind of about his legacy and who's still running the show, kind of a thing. It's very interesting, but it is annoying that it's not all out at once, so I haven't watched it for a good bit because that bothers me. We finished The Penguin. The season finale was so good. If you have not watched The Penguin, you can binge watch it now, the whole first season. It is excellent. Colin Farrell's finest role, I'm pretty sure, because I don't even know that it's him. I put up all my Christmas decorations, and I of course had to watch a Christmas movie while I was doing that, and I watched The Holiday. It's one of my favorite Christmas movies ever. I'm sure you have all seen it by now. It's older and it's so good. And then I put the kids' Christmas tree up downstairs, and we watched The Grinch while we did that, and I let them while trying not to tear my hair out. I let them do a lot of the decorating on the tree. It's fine. And then I did try starting a new show. It's available through Prime. It is called Taboo. It's got Tom Hardy and I don't know her name, but she played Rob Stark's wife. I cannot think of her name. She was the healer that he married in the show. And they, her and Tom Hardy are like the main characters. They're brother and sister. It's based in like the early 1800s, London. Tom Hardy's a man who's lived in Africa for a long time, but his father dies back home. So he goes back home to kind of claim his inheritance. It's a 3-time Emmy nominee or something. So you'd think it would be really good, but I was like really struggling to get through the first episode, which is strange because it's got all the things that you would think would be good. Early 1800s, kind of dark, gritty, Tom Hardy. It's got all the recipe for a good show. Oh, and tons of Game of Thrones crossover people. Like people who are in that show are in Taboo. Tons of them. And I just like am struggling to get into it. Mostly because I can barely understand a word that's coming out of the Tom Hardy character's mouth. I don't know what the deal is. I can barely understand him and it bugs me because I don't want to watch with subtitles because I'm stitching. I can't be reading and stitching. I have to mostly listen. So if you've watched Taboo, it's only 1 season. Please let me know if it is worth the watch to continue on. Okay, now I have a list of shows that I want to watch and I'm curious if anybody has seen them and if they're worth it or not. So the first one that I'm interested in watching is called Cranford. It's like kind of like a wintry Christmas type show. I'm not sure. It's being promoted as kind of a holiday show, but it's 2 seasons. It's got the late Dame Judi Dench in it. I think it's a PBS show too, and it's available on Peacock. So if you've seen that, please let me know. Also on Peacock, a PBS show, or it's a BBC show. It's called Ripper Street. It has Matthew McFadden. It's got the one dude that was, I mean, gosh, he's been in a million shows, but he was Bronn of the Blackwater in Game of Thrones. And it's basically about Jack the Ripper. And it looks really good. It's got 6 seasons, I think, so it's got to be good. If you've seen it, I would love to know your thoughts on it. And that is on Peacock. There are 2 movies that I'm interested in watching, but I'd have to pay to watch them, so I want to know if that's worth it. The first one is The Testament of Youth. It's got Kit Harington as the male lead. I don't know the name of the girl who's female lead, but it's based in, I don't know, 1930s or 40s, maybe earlier. Kind of a romance movie. And also My Cousin Rachel, which has got Rachel Weisz, and I am blanking on the male lead's name, but basically a man is sick and his sister-in-law comes to take care of him. It's like Victorian time period as well. Comes to take care of him, and I believe they end up falling in love. But it also looks really good, and I'd like to watch it, but I want to know if it's worth paying the money to rent it. A new show on Peacock that is actually I'm considering starting is called St. Denis Medical. It's got the lady that played Beverly Goldberg, the mom in The Goldbergs. I love that actress. She is so funny. And she's giving Michael Scott in this position in this show. And it basically looks like it's The Office, Parks and Rec meets a hospital type of a thing. And it looks really funny. And I'm considering starting that. There is a new Elvis Presley documentary or documentary on Netflix that looks really interesting. It's got a lot of Priscilla in it, talking throughout it. And I don't know a lot about Elvis's later life. I know a bit about his early life, but I don't really know a lot about him in general. And so that looks really interesting to me. There's also a movie on Netflix that I came across that looks interesting. It is called The Widow Cliquot. But the male lead in that show, it's like a Victorian time period show as well. But the male lead in that show is I cannot remember his name. He played Harold Sigurd in Vikings Valhalla. and I love him in that show. He's a very good looking man. So those are some of the shows that are on my I need to watch, and just a few of the shows. I've obviously watched my normals, like Sister Wives and Real Housewives of Salt Lake and Deadly Sketch is over. Thousand Pound Sisters. I mean, we keep up on our normal shows, but I am in a show slump. I need something to watch, and so if you have watched any of those ones that I mentioned, please let me know which one I should start with. We did it. We got through all of my stuff. Thank you for hanging on with me this long. I hope that you have a great next 2 weeks of stitching and a wonderful Thanksgiving, and you eat all the delicious foods and spend all the time with your family. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.